What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos from the channel Frost and Fists, and welcome to tonight's show. Tonight, I'm going to be continuing to work on the Salamanders army as a gift. The deadline is approaching way too quickly, and I've got not nearly enough done as I was hoping to. So, I got to push. Before we do, though, we're going to set the tunes on. There we go. All right, got our tunes on in the background. I hope you all are doing well tonight. It is Friday finally upon us, and yeah, it's time to chill, get our paint on, and yeah, just hang out, enjoy some Warhammer. Speaking of the Warhammers, over here on the painting desk, I've made a little progress. Definitely no real speed painting type progress, but the Inferno squad is mostly done here. Ignore the messy bases, please. I plan on brightening up the bases just a little bit more, and then once I put down the Mordant Earth, there'll be the crack. It'll be basically black terrain with cracks showing through of some of these kind of fiery colors. So I do want to brighten up a little before we get to that step. But yeah, I'm almost done with the intercessors, and I just plan on doing all 10 of those bases in one go. So, got the Infernus Marines pretty much done. Got their helmets knocked out this week. And I found these tactical dragon helmets on Colts. And I don't know, I really like them. They are pretty cool looking. And, a lot of chapters, they do the red helmet designating the sergeant or the man in charge. And I thought a red dragon for the Salamanders would be really fitting. If you look up top, they got the little like spikes, kind of like a dragon would. It's very cool. Anyways, not that the sergeant in this squad gets anything in particularly special, but I thought it'd be a cool way to denote which one's the sergeant. So we've got Who Took My Dice, getting some quality time with his lovely lady. Have an amazing night, Mythos. Much love to you too, brother. And enjoy your family time, man. So yeah, got one squad of Infernus Marines ready to go. And I'm almost done with the intercessors. Here's our 3 standard intercessors here. I know I was just messing with this last week, and I'm already messing with the new camera angle now because I wasn't really happy with the camera angle from last week. But once again, their base needs to be, brightened up a little bit. It just needs to be done a little bit more, and then I'll put down the Mordant Earth. So 3 standard intercessors. We got one guy with the underslung grenade launcher. And then we've got one sergeant with the plasma and the power fist. I do need to do up a few details on the sergeant, like basically, some of the power fist details and stuff like that. But I'm not going to do that on stream tonight just because I want to be able to, hold it close to my face and be able to, look at what I'm doing when I'm painting. But that's what I've gotten done so far. Man, I really thought I was going to speed through this project a lot faster than I have been, because I have been kind of working on getting better at speed paint Marines, but it's not coming together the way I had hoped. But it's still, I'm getting it done. Like I said, I'll black the rims, I'll put down the Mordant Earth, I'll brighten up the base a little bit first, and those messy bases will look a ton better by the time you see it next. So I got just a few things to touch up on the sergeant, and then I'll be ready to do the bases and finish those off. And I figured the best thing to do next is what is next? Or what's left, rather. I've got the tank. I kind of want to do some bits on the tank. We'll see about, getting to that some. Um, there's the tank. There is 6 of these guys, aggressors, and I really like this pattern of aggressors with some arms from a designer called Atlan Forge. I just really think they're cool. They've got double bolster on one side, double flavor. It kind of gives you the flexibility to kind of pick which loadout you're going with. But I also think they just look cool, really beefy. Chunks them up a little bit, you know what I mean? So I've got 6 of these guys to do. That could be just kind of one intimidating brick to do all at once, but at the same time, man, would that knock out a lot, right? And then I've got 3 special characters to do. And I know doing special characters is always fun, but I've got the Gravis Captain here with his Power Fist and Relic Sword. We have a sculpt I found for Vulcan, but with that big 2-handed hammer, could absolutely be used as Adrax Agatone, the Primaris Captain. On the road, just made it into Texas a little while ago, about to approach my halfway point from the glorious state of Arizona. Well, welcome back to Texas, man. I hope you had a great trip. And then I've got this lieutenant that I was going to do for his Hellblasters here, with the little flame stack on top, Power Fist, Plasma Pistol. But yeah, so I've got 3 characters. I've got the 6 aggressors still left to do. I've got the tank, and I think what I'm going to start on tonight is the 3 eradicators. Man, have a safe drive, brother. And yeah, hope you take care while you're on the road, man. By the way, I got some news from work earlier today about next week, and I'll hit you up privately. Well, actually, I need to tell the class anyways. Next week, I am being required to work next weekend. So, unfortunately, I won't be here for the show next week, everyone, which is really frustrating because, yeah, Freak and I were going to do a catch up and some painting together. And suddenly having to work the weekend is not great news. Very frustrating. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I had 3 characters to work on. Actually, I have a 4th character with Vulcan Heston here, the Primaris-sized version. So, lots of stuff to do here. Tell you, I think I'm going to give the Eradicators a go, especially since I have here got their Melta rifles all ready to go as well. So yeah, get them painted. We'll get those arms stuck on, and I think that'll be a semi-easy win, knocking out 3 Eradicators. The only thing I was looking earlier, and for some reason, I think it seemed like the aggressor helmets that I printed did not want. Okay, no, they do fit. I'm tripping. For some reason, I thought that I was having trouble fitting them earlier, but I must have been tripping. That does seem fiddly, though. Okay, yeah, that should work. If we need to move it up, that's fine. I appreciate you, man. You're very flexible and understanding, and I appreciate you. All right. I'm going to pull out. Last week I was using Abaddon Black because I thought I was out of my favorite. Look at this old bottle. This is a Apple Barrel Matte Black. It is the flattest, mattest black, and Apple Barrel paints come like naturally kind of thick. But man, I thinned down a little Apple Barrel paint, and that sucker has been my favorite black paint for the longest time. And I was so glad to actually find I still had a little bit. All right. We're just going to cut in some black here. And then we can go back and do some highlighting and all that later. And we'll do the black on, of course, the backpack here. We'll do it on the silver areas like the hoses back here. And then we'll go over to the melter rifles and black out any of the silver areas or the casing of the melter rifles as well. So nice and easy job, which is good, when I'm painting on screen, which by the way, I think I'm liking this camera position a lot better. Since I can't keep the models close to my face, I think it's better for me to knock out, some of the easier to do things. Since I am painting kind of a little bit away from my face, kind of peeking under the camera, so to speak. And I think by starting with these, since the aggressors are on the same kind of grav as bodies, maybe I'll have it down and I can just fly through the aggressors. I know with as much detail as there are on aggressors, I'm hoping for a lot there, but maybe. What about everyone else? How's everyone's week been? What you guys got for a poke shop? Brother Thomas sent me some pictures before the show of a gorgeous, gorgeous lady with a sword and a wolf figure that he was painting up for a Hobby Hive challenge. Hobby Hive being a Facebook group that I think we're both part of. And they do like monthly challenges and stuff like that. And yeah, he usually does some cool stuff. That's often where he features some of his really really detail heavy work, like his tattoos and stuff like that. But yeah, he said he's going to do an OSL focus on this challenge. So he's going to be doing things like a campfire that he's going to have reflecting off the sword. And then he's going to have warm light coming from the campfire. And then he said he wants it to be backlit from like moonlight. So he'll have warm light on one side, cold light on the other. He said it's really going to push some contrast. So it sounds, well, I've seen works like that before, and man, are they super impressive and, of course, very ambitious. But I know someone of Thomas's, that's a Hellchild, I'm sorry. But people have seen Hellchild in the chat before. I know his capabilities, and yeah, I think he can definitely pull it off. All right, that's one backpack and some cables done. Man, let me tell you guys, it has been a week. Like, I feel good about the week work wise. Got some stuff accomplished. Even got some stuff turned in a little early. Even got some kudos from the boss. But then I also got a very strongly hinted, because there are some issues at my sites, the sites that I'm responsible for. I got a very strongly recommended, you know, if you need to catch a flight to go take care of that, go do that now. Yes. And so, yeah, there will be some traveling coming up, and I'll be working some weekends because that's where I'm having some troubles. And yeah, that's why I'm going to miss next week's show. And then I'm going to be missing a second weekend as well, but I don't know when that one is yet. That one's not scheduled yet. It's just like, I've got people acting up and acting a fool. And that's a tough thing, being responsible for when somebody else is acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? And anyone's ever been in security, that's often how security industries retaliate, or not retaliate, but respond when you've got issues on off shifts and stuff like that. Is that they're like, just throw more management or supervision at it. And if a place is acting out enough, they'll just go up the chain, and so they'll go from managers and supervisors, and then managers, and then all the way up to corporate level managers to go out and do random inspections in the middle of the night or on the weekends, just to see what people are doing when they think no one's looking. So it's very common. Freak and I used to have to do these weekend checks um, when we worked together in security. Penny's pit stop. Hey, hey. Long time no see, Penny. I hope you're doing well. You're up early from across the pond. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. Yeah, when Freak and I used to be managers assigned to doing just random weekend and overnight post checks because people were cutting up, man, we caught people doing all kinds of stuff. Stuff from, people going, sneaking off to their car and taking a nap, to things like, uh, full on people in their pajamas showed up to work, changed into their pajamas, had a pillow and blanket ready to go. I mean, they came with a plan to get some sleep in. You know what I'm saying? People doing other stuff too. We once confiscated someone's very explicit romance novel that they had on site at work. Like, oh man, you cannot have this here. Waiting for a 3D print to finish. It's taken almost 14 hours so far. Perhaps I set my layer height a little too fine. It's a resin printer. 14 hours for a resin print is a lot, but hey, if you have those really fine, print lines, then hey, at least you're going to get what should be a very detailed and quality print. Uh-oh, why is my webcam looks fine on the restream, but on the actual YouTubes, it looks all blurry? That is weird. That's got to be a signal problem. Let me cut back one of the things I've got eating some signal in the background here, see if that helps. It's funny, the paint camera looks fine. My web camera looks super blurry. And do you care? He says, what scale is the print? And do you care to share what your print is? Up early, haven't gone to bed yet. Oh, okay. I understand that. Understand that. Hell, child, good to see you. I was just telling everybody about your very high contrast, very sexy looking project with your lady and her wolf and their sword and the campfire. And how you plan on doing lots of OSL from one direction, backlighting from another. Man, it sounds like a really cool project. I'll ask you in case you know, if I change my layer height from 0.05 to 0.02, can I change my exposure time proportionally? Printing Bellhead from last month's Abyssal drop. I've already done the bust, and it's nothing short of epic. That is really cool. I am going to be honest with you. I am a very novice 3D printer, and basically, like, I have what my friend showed me to do: how to load the file, put it on the slice it, put it on the thumb drive, hit print. But like changing settings and stuff like that, I am completely novice at. Like, I know exactly how to do the one thing I wish I have to do. In fact, I changed my FEP out um, a couple weeks ago, and I felt like an absolute legend. Even though it's something standard that everybody with a 3D printer needs to know how to do, I felt like an absolute legend for being able to do, to troubleshoot that. So, just to show you how little I know. Cost nothing to ask. Absolutely. Ooh, doing the 75 millimeter one next. Display size. That's very cool. Although, if you see him sometimes during my show, an absolute 3D printing expert, Nate's Miniatures, pops into the chat. If you see him, feel free to ask him. He is extremely knowledgeable, and I have gone to him for advice before. He's very, very, very knowledgeable about 3D printing. Now, why is my face still blurry? I don't think I have anything drawing on my signal. Yeah, the Elegoo water washable resin with great results. Very nice. I've had some mixed results with the water washable resin. But it's awesome that you've been getting some good results. We'll set these jets in the back. Slide these gents back. I should just switch this around. Boop. Since my facial camera wants to be extra blurry. Default setting is fine. It gets reasonable print, but I suspect it's under or overexposing. Sounds like some intelligent troubleshooting there. First, you need to sort out the fact that it welds to the bed, so playing with the initial exposure. What I've been doing with the water washable is washing it in the wash station for 10 minutes, then do another 10 minutes, and then shake it in a tub with some IPA, then cure. Looking at the color of my water and compare it to the color of my IPA, it saves me loads of money in IPA costs. I bet. It was a quiet chat to begin with, Benny. Thank you so much for sharing some conversation with our chat. No worries whatsoever. All right, this whole multi-melta is basically, the majority of it's going to be black and then silver, but we want the silver undercoated with black. So we're just going to block in all of this with black, and then we can work on silver lights after that. One to 1.1 setting should be good at 0.02. Says Thomas. Cool. Thomas has a wealth of experience at just about everything in this hobby, from printing to freehanding to tattoos, kit bashing. And I say tattoos, I mean he does really good like tattoos on his miniatures. Like really incredible. Skin tones. Man is something of a hobby Swiss Army knife. I say Thomas, I mean Hellchild. The reason I do a double wash is because my wash station changes direction halfway through. So 2 washes means 2 changes in directions. Sounds smart to me. Watched a YouTube video that essentially says if it works for you, it's all good. So I'll carry on with the double wash. You mentioning that you haven't been to bed yet. I was just thinking, man, I know that feeling. I love being a night owl, but now what's it now that I think about it? And I have not done a very good job of being a night owl as much as I used to. I start to get tired pretty early now. By 2 a.m., I'm toasted, which is a shame. Used to be a Friday night for me was a minimum 4 a.m. Getting old, guys. Getting old. Missed the beginning. What am I painting? No worries at all. I am currently painting some Primaris eradicators for the Salamanders, a gift for a friend. And I've done some Infernus Marines with some flamethrowers. I've done some intercessors with bolt rifles. All of this being part of a gift. The bases are messy, but I plan on brightening them up and putting some Mordant Earth over to get the crackle effect, and we'll get those bright colors coming on through. And yeah, now I'm working on the eradicators here with the multi-melta and a couple of melta rifles. So, but yeah, all this is an upcoming gift for a friend whose birthday is in a handful of days, to be honest. So I probably won't have the project finished for him by then. However, I don't think I'll be seeing him on his birthday. So, maybe if I put in a little extra elbow grease, I can have it done for the next time I see him and pretend it was done by his birthday, right? I originally set myself a pretty big project, and I was like, his birthday's in 2 weeks, because I spent more time printing than painting at first, and that's where the real pitfall came in. And so I was just printing and printing and printing, because all of the all of the well, like all of these models for his army are printed, because he's not going to play anywhere. He's going to be casual, probably play with me and maybe a couple other friends. He's not going to be playing in a store or anything. Um, so yeah, at first I just went crazy on the printing side of things and printed a lot of things for his army. And then I started a painting when there was only like 2 weeks left. And I was like, I should be able to do all this in 2 weeks. And 2 weeks have come and gone. This is my third episode of working on these salamanders. So yeah, which makes it a third Friday. I know it's not the most exciting thing to see me just black coating everything. I'm just preparing for the silver and then the melta effects and all that good stuff. The heat bloom on the barrel, but it all starts with undercoating the entire weapon black. Good morning/evening, Francois. It's my day off. I work late, so being up this time is normal for me. Okay. Why is my camera so blurry on the screen? I didn't paint minis for a long time. Started doing the Warhammer Stormbringer magazine. Got my bug going again. Bought the Army Painter Fanatics and really enjoyed. Nice. Myself, before I do enamels, I like to do a gloss varnish, but some people use a matte varnish. Oil washes are fun, absolutely. Although as far as enamels go, I really love the AK Streak and Grime. All right, can I bring my camera back in? That would be wonderful. There we go. Having some technical problems with the stream tonight, as per usual. Yeah, I find the AK Streak and Grime gives a really, really nice grimdark effect, Fetty. I'm experiencing oil washes as I do scale model aircraft, although lately I've been using the clay washes. Interesting. Garrett, my man, howdy. How are you, my brother? Are you ready to do some vampire this weekend, my man? Francois prefers the matte varnish. Uh, Parts you reduce the enamel on may have a glossy sheen, which, oh, well, I can see where that would contradict the grim dark of it all, but I just like it for the harder protection it gives, as sometimes the mineral spirits can eat at the paint. I prefer the harder shell, and then I mat it all down at the end. So, but I can understand why the shininess of a gloss varnish would make you think it'd be counterintuitive to the grimdark. Yeah, anytime I do a gloss varnish on anything, purpose is just protection, and then I mat it all down at the end. But for myself, it's a little harder. The gloss is a little harder protecting, and then also when you go back to the reductive step where you wick away some of the enamel wash, for myself, it's easier to wipe it off of uh, the gloss coated surface than it is the matte. So that way, the parts where you want the color to show through, it is easier to see. Just in my opinion, in my experience, but obviously, I mean, whichever method works for you. I got to talking and I painted right over this man's fingertips. Oh well, I can go back and paint those fingertips in later. I've done that on both of them actually. Friendly neighborhood inquisitor. How goes it? How are you, my man? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I painted right over his fingers. How are you and Binky this week? That cat, he's such a clown. Clay washes are fun. Once it's dry, you think, oh my God, what have I done? But then you wipe it with a damp cloth and it starts to look cool. That's often how I feel about the oil washes and the streaking grime. You can just say it's flamer wash. Just all gritted and blacked out after a flamer. Vampire, you say? Yes. Garrett and I, and sometimes you'll see Brother Geary in the chat. Um, we're all in a Vampire the Masquerade campaign. It used to be White Wolf. Who owns that now? But it's a tabletop role playing game, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Have I given you ideas with the clay wash? Yeah, I would be interested to try it out. I'm gonna have to look up some tutorials of the clay wash. Inquisitor, not bad. Just getting home from a friend's place, watching the Celtics game, and Binky is currently next to me, waiting to see what I plan to do. Very nice. I like my models to appear as different textures. I don't want the glossy sheen on an unhelmeted head or cloth, and the matte heads with the sense that I'm unlikely to streak and grime a face, and it's more purposely applied onto cloth. That makes sense. World of Darkness. Oh yes, I mean it's always the franchise has always been called World of Darkness, but World of Darkness was owned by a company called White Wolf before. I don't know who owns the World of Darkness franchise now, but obviously it was bought out and revamped. And we're playing a modern day vampire game. Currently, our game is taking place in New Orleans, and my character is playing a New Orleans detective. There's also a vampire from Clan Asimite. Wizards of the Coast. Thank you. I personally recommend Ultimate Modeling products, but I'm not sure as they are a UK-based company. Never heard of Flory Wash. I've heard of Flory Wash, but never used it. Just keep in mind its primary use is designed for model aircraft. Oh yeah, for any time. Bruya. I thought about going Bruya. The one I'm playing right now is called shit. I'm having trouble remembering. It's the clan formerly known as the Asimite, but officially the Asimite were dissolved. You know what? Let's get some screen sharing going on. I'll show you guys my character sheet. This is cool. You can do on the you can do the whole character on the Vampire the Masquerade website nowadays. Realm of Darkness, and they have it to where um, the website will sync up with your Discord, and you can make rolls and stuff like that straight from your character sheet into the Discord. Let's see. Share screen. Realm of Darkness. Share. All right, so this is my character, Detective Jackson Carter. And to try and get into character as a Cajun, I make sure to just spam a bunch of videos of classic X-Men Gambit. You know, he does my Cajun accent for me. So I watch a bunch of Gambit clips before we play. But yeah, so this is kind of what the character sheet looks like. Banu Hakim, that's what the clan is called now. They're the clan formerly known as the Assamites. I like Ventru also. One of my best friends is playing Ventru. I tell we were actually just talking last game because I have contacts in law enforcement, and I'd kind of been leading the group on some things, and I started to feel like I was maybe dominating the scene a little bit. And so I was like, they were like, hey, you want to call some of your contacts, take care of this? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let somebody else take care of this. And they're like, well, you have the contacts to do this. I'm like, hey, we've got a venture in our midst. They've got a superpower, and their superpower is being filthy rich. This is tabletop for us. We're playing on the tabletop. Like I said, we play through Discord, and this is really cool because the actual Realm of Darkness website will sync your character sheet up to the Discord, and you can make rolls and stuff like that straight into the Discord from your character sheet. So it's been pretty fun. Right now, our party has a myself as a Banu Hakim. We've got a Ventru. We've got a Lasombra, even though they shouldn't be around anymore. We've got a very rare one of those. Um, Babe, what clan are you again? Hikata. We got a Hikata. And we've got a Malkavian that thinks he's a Nosferatu, which is hilarious. And he's a chef, and he can actually eat food. So, a very interesting crew we have. And currently in our campaign, I mentioned the Lasombra. I was mentioned. Oh, what about the Lasombra? I just mentioned we have a Lasombra in our crew that technically shouldn't exist at the moment. They're supposed to be a wiped out clan. I mean, not that I know in character that we have a Lasombra. Lasombra are pretty cool. Yeah, their shadow powers are real neat. So, in this campaign, the reason we were brought together, who I don't know, man. I just heard a rumor that somebody was playing a Lasombra. Oh yeah, I've never seen him either. um, but a reason we were brought together from all these different clans is because the prince of the city, it had been petitioned to the prince of the city that the there were kindred going missing in the swamp of uh, um, outside of New Orleans, and we were supposed to investigate, find out where these disappearing kindred were going to, especially since some of the ones that were seen out there that seem to have disappeared out there are people who wouldn't normally go into the swamp for any reason. So it's like find out why they were there, find out who took them, or if they were abducted, or if they willingly gone and disappeared somewhere. And whoever told you that there was a Sombra, they lied to you. Oh yeah, I'm very they got one over on me for sure. The blue guys, the fairy vampires, are pretty dope. Before I was born, my dad used to LARP vampire. All I know about their rules is that if you have your arms crossed, it means you're invisible, and everyone has to pretend you're not there. Oh yeah, I've been to the Vampire Masquerade LARP once before, and it was interesting. It was like it was definitely a different world than just being used to the Vampire the Masquerade tabletop for sure. But yes, so we've been brought together, and in each of the clans had to put forth a representative for this team operation that the prince was having the clans look into, and so that's why we have someone from each of the clans. Sounds like a Gangrel problem or a Ravenous. Oh, there were also rumors that this swamp had werewolf sightings, and yeah, we got there and we found some like really crazy lab crap, and like we found like blood from missing kindred, but we didn't find the kindred themselves. And we found some caged, or we found a caged werewolf. So that was pretty cool, and yeah, it was interesting. Um, so something seems to be doing experiments on our people. That's where we've gotten to so far. Oh, and then we were being attacked by a supernatural sniper that was able to keep up with us. So it was pretty. It's been pretty interesting so far. When I played Sabat, I played a Lasombra. Very cool. I had a friend once play a Zamisi before. Now those are some mean suckers. They're flesh crafting, man. Uh, so I want to say botched an attack and accidentally um, tortured him, tortured my brother. And instead of bringing him back to life, he's like, "Oops, I didn't mean to kill him, but well, I mean, if he's out." And then he used his flesh. He had like level 3 fleshcraft, and turned my brother into a backpack and wore him for like the next several episodes. It was pretty crazy. Zamiski can be nasty. I'm listening to the 40K Urdesh book, so when I see someone type Sabat, I immediately have a different thought. Ah, like the Sabat Wars. That's cool. All right, we'll start laying down some golds. This is Elven Gold from scale 75. Camarilla Bruya or Sabat Bruya, True Black Hand. Yeah, the Bruya are pretty cool. I mean, especially like the Wizards of the Coast Bruya are pretty cool, but man, the White Wolf Bruya with old school celerity and potence, oh man, they're just absolute beasts. Just as a warning, fam, we are about 20 minutes away from 10 o'clock, and I know for these painting sessions, I have been going a little bit later, but I've got a little bit of a stomach bug tonight. I'm feeling a little nauseated tonight, so I think I am going to call it right at 10 tonight, or about. So I'll probably do this gold trim and then see where I'm at there. Probably make myself, or not make myself, but grab myself a seltzer water here in a little bit, settle my stomach for my nausea. He's getting old, so he's got to crash early. I'm not necessarily going to bed, but yeah, I am gonna. Like I said, I'm feeling nauseated. I'm gonna go chill on the couch with some, uh, with some seltzer. I've got some key lime flavored seltzer water. I think it'll help settle my stomach. Yeah, I'm on blood sugar medications, and anyways, I recently switched to a cheaper blood sugar medication, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've had kind of, I don't know, just nausea problems lately. Hmm? Oh, thank you. We're still on vampire, huh? Thanks, babe. Thank you, Thomas. Uh, my Setite could get out more trouble. Could get out of more trouble than you could imagine. I bet. Old school. That's me, about as old as you can get. He's getting old, so he's got to crash early. You just screen up. Oh, share your project with me. I'm sorry about that. All right, and share screen. Here we go. This is the gorgeous project that for the Hell Child we'll be working on. Very red Sonia. I think like the I almost want to say it, like especially the specific design of the chainmail bikini very much is the red Sonia style design. So I don't know if it's just inspired by or if it is a red Sonia, but it looks awesome. Uh, and looks like some orc style heads down here at the bottom. Massive sword there by her legs. Then next to her seat, she's got this massive two-headed axe. Uh, is that a whole wolf or a wolf pelt? I don't know. What scale? Francois wants to know what scale it's in, brother. But apparently, there's a campfire here on the base, and that's where he's going to do some campfire OSL. And he's going to have the warm light coming up, reflecting off her, reflecting off the sword, and it'll light up her details from up front. And then he said he's going to do some cold moonlight coming down from the back, kind of backlighting her. So it'll be one of those contrast pieces where we're going to have warm light on one side and cool light on the other side. It's 40 millimeters and it's a wolf pelt. Very cool. That is awesome, my brother. I'm really looking forward to it. Especially since my wife and I, years ago, used to collect Red Sonja comics, and they're pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure growing up, Red Sonja is one of the main reasons why, I've always had that kind of soft spot for bikini armor. Does it make any sense? Probably not. Does it look amazing? Yes. Yes, bikini armor. Exactly. Oh, I thought I stopped. Click stop sharing screen. My bad. Yeah, I think Red Sonja, and then of course, as an old school gamer, Golden Axe. I think those were my first two experiences of seeing bikini armor. Anyways, I think I remember the girl in Golden Axe having bikini armor. Could be misremembering there. Boom, boom, boom. 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 She did. Ah, thank you for reminding me, my brother. Oh, I mentioned that Thomas is going to do some great OSL work. Uh, Thomas mentioned he's also going to be doing tattoos on her. And then I mentioned that was Red Sonja was a great way to fall in love with bikini armor. He says, and redheads, of course, of course. Got to have the red in Red Sonja. And thank you for refreshing my memory on Golden Axe Inquisitor. Really, I'm just painting the frame of this little box on his belt. I'm getting a little messy with some overspill on the inside of the box, but that's okay because I'm going to be painting the inside something else anyways. Reliquary, I want to say is what it is. I think there's like bones and stuff on the inside. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And that is a Ziggle detail done on 3 guys. I still got 10 minutes. Guess I could go for blocking in some silvers too. Painting tattoos, you absolute mad lad. Do the kids these days still say mad lad? I don't know about the kids, but we still say it around these parts. By these parts, I mean like, me and my friends. But what the kids say, I can tell you. I've got a teenage daughter, or 2 teenage daughters that hit me in on some new lingo once in a while, and I'm like, when did that become a thing? Which means I'm getting old. Maybe I'm going to have to start talking like my character Sarge. We played some Twilight 2000 last night on the channel with Gamers with Coffee and Mini War Mutt. That was fun. And my character Sarge, which I based off of Red versus Blues Sarge, was a lot of fun. Enjoyed being a character there. Feel like I got old the second I heard new slang and had no idea what it means. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It is definitely something that happens way too often. It's like, when did that become a thing? At first, I used to laugh about it. Now I'm almost offended. Like, when did that happen? You know what? I got the silver out to start with the silvers. My kid used cool beans, called it new. I told him sorry to break it to you. Oh, guys, I actually am going to go ahead and call it 10 minutes early. My stomach is really hurting, and I need to go settle my stomach. So um, I'm going to call it here, guys. Uh, I'm not even going to go to the big screen to say goodbye because for some reason it's just super blurry. So we're just going to keep it on these three uh, eradicators that are in work in progress. And yeah, we've had some. I like Grace Jones and Conan, and Tina Turner in Mad Max with their bikini armor. You know, I actually I know this is almost criminal, but I've never actually seen the Mad Max movies. I got to go check that out. Uh, I don't know what skibbity means, and I desperately want to never learn it. Now I'm curious. I got to look that up here in a minute. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I had a blast getting some stuff painted tonight, and I really appreciate that the chat was really filled with some great, chatter tonight. Lots of good conversations. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys make sure to check out in our link down below, and you'll have seen Nightbot posted up several times. Our sponsor is Paint Minis Live and their new online hobby shop with all kinds of great products from like D&D modules, things like dice, huge variety of dice. But my favorite thing they have on their site is the Monument Hobbies Pro-Acryl paint range, which is really awesome. I'm new to the hobby. I like watching your videos to learn how to get better at painting. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Wario. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. You have a wonderful night, Wario. I'm sorry catching you at the end, but we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. If you guys liked tonight's video, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop me some comments down below if you're feeling or watching from the archives, and feel free to be part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, and if you're not subscribed to any of the friends in our link tree down below, the Friends of the Frosted Fist, man, we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frosted Fist. So subscribe. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.